Scenario 1: The Deserted Village. As soon as you came within sight of the nameless village, you knew that something wasn't right. There was no sound of man or animal, no movement except for the gentle swaying of the trees in the breeze. Closer in, you could see bodies lying in the dirt and smell the stench of death. Undaunted, you covered your face and carried on. Whatever happened here, it was your duty to try to discover the truth and, if possible, determine the fate of Aventine. You had just reached the center of the village and were about to split up to search when a horrible moaning sound came from all around.
And that was the introduction to this Rangers of Shadow Deep game. My very first game. I've had the game for a long time. I've been wanting to play, haven't been able to, and so this is my very first game. The first mission in the core book, The Deserted Village. Many thanks to Julie for reading out that introduction for this video. So let's introduce the Rangers real quick. My Ranger and his companions. I have my Ranger, his name is Kane. He has Blend into Shadows, Deadly Strike, those are his two abilities. And then he has 3 spells, a Heal spell, Halt Undead, and Magic Bolt. So those are his 3 spells. He is armed with a bow, a sword, and a dagger. So he has a hand weapon and a bow. All right, next in line is my Conjurer, Meg. And Meg has a staff and a dagger. Her spells are Enchant Steel and Magic Bolt. So we'll see how that works out for me. She is a female conjurer, and I don't have stories for them yet. We will, as I get more involved in this game, we will have little stories, little backgrounds and stuff. Nevin is next in line, and he is my archer. He has a bow, a dagger, and a quiver. That's his main equipment. I also recruited Kerberos, and Kerberos is my warhound. He is a double-headed hound, but hey, no one's perfect. Double heads, double the bite. Well, he doesn't get any bonuses for that, but anyway, he is a warhound. Okay, so we'll see how he does. He's a cool figure. My next companion is Max, and Max is a man-at-arms. He comes with light armor and a shield and a hand weapon, which of course is a sword in this case. That's what the figure is depicted with. Next is a special little character named Shards. I never know what to name my goblins. Shards is a rogue. He's a little goblin thief, and so he is armed with a dagger. He also has a throwing knife. And then, last but not least, is my female Templar, and her name is Kyla. And Kyla is armed with a 2-handed weapon and heavy armor underneath all those robes. So she is a Templar, and I decided to take a little bit of strength in this party. We'll see how they do. This is a game that's very challenging, and it'll be a little different from my 5 Parsecs games. So I will probably alternate both of those games. This will be a solo game, but future Rangers of Shadow Deep may include Julie, and so we'll do a co-op game. All right, let's introduce the scenario. All right, and this is the table that I'm playing on, the Deserted Village. We have several buildings on the board, and they are arranged in a rough circle. And then we also have a few scattered trees, some rocks. There's another rock here, and a little bit of stone on the ground as well. Now, the scenario calls for 6 clue tokens. So here's 1, here's 2, there's another one on the other edge, and 1 over there, and then there's 2 more, 1 inside each of these buildings, okay? And they were placed randomly with a die roll. So the markers go on a 14-inch line across the middle there, okay? So 14 inches from the center, and that's where they are, okay? So clue markers, and here's my party, and they can't be within 6 inches of the buildings. They have to be 6 inches, a little bit over 6 inches away from any of the buildings. So I put them roughly in the center. So in turn one, we see our heroes moving around, repositioning, and we also see in the creature phase the zombies and rats closing in from all sides. We now know what all the moaning is about as the party looks around and sees all these zombies coming in. Now, Kane knows that he has to grab those clues, so he orders Kerberos and Max to follow him. They go straight towards a building, and the closest building where Kane suspects there's a clue. While he's doing that, of course, the zombies are closing in. Nevin knocks an arrow, fires, and inflicts 4 damage to a zombie that is closing in on him. So, yay, Nevin. You'll see later on that he's on fire in this game. And the event for turn 1 was that Kerberos, terror grips him for some reason. So we don't know why the Warhound is suddenly terrified. Maybe something he smelled with his 2 little heads or whatever it was, but he is terrified and cannot activate the next turn. So turn 2 is probably the most exciting of the game. A lot of things happen in turn 2. Finally, in the creature phase, the monsters have closed in. Most of the monsters are either engaged or about to be engaged with the party. Kane, in the ranger phase, reacts and breaks open the door to the building and manages to go into the building. He's now posed to search around and get a clue that is inside the building. Meg, my spellcaster, she had tried a spell in the previous turn. It didn't work. And she draws her sword just as a giant rat leaps on her. She's too slow, unfortunately. She gets taken out on turn 2. That's too bad for me, really. And Nevin is also attacked by a rat during the creature phase, and he wins, killing it. So 15 is 2 points of damage, and that's enough to kill the rat. It is only 1 health. Nevin, however, does take 2 points of damage because as he dispatched this rat, a zombie that's nearby engages him, and this was again in the creature phase, so he takes 2 points of damage as well. So 1 creature attacks Nevin. Nevin kills it. Then the zombie comes in, attacks Nevin. Nevin is injured, not badly though. And Kerberos takes 1 damage in turn 2. He's a little bit wounded by a zombie. And then Max takes 5 points of damage. He's too slow with his sword and shield. He tries to block a hit, but it goes through and hits him. Kyla, my Templar, also takes damage, which is everybody in my party took some kind of damage on turn 2. And then finally, during the companion phase, Nevin has dispatched the zombie that's on him and then takes a clue marker with his other actions. So Nevin, with that sword, just cleaves that zombie in a powerful hit and then moves towards the closest clue marker and manages to take the clue. He finds treasure. So turn 3, after all the searching, Kane finds the clue in the building, but it turns out to be herbs. So he takes some herbs. We'll have to roll out later to see what kinds of herbs. Max, meanwhile, outside the building, as Max and Kerberos are engaged, Max gets taken out. He rolls a 2 on one of his fight rolls, and this is during the creature phase. Max is out of the game. Kyla, nearby, takes 7 damage, and she is out of the game. So turn 3 sees 2 companions knocked out, and that makes it 3 all in all, and it's only turn 3. So 2 companions in turn 3, 1 in turn 2. A rat attacks Nevin, but Nevin kills it right after picking up the treasure. Most of the zombies on the board, though, by this time have been destroyed during the companion phase or Yeah, mostly the companion phase. Once my companions got to retaliate, a lot of the zombies went out. All of the rats are pretty much dead after turn 3. And we check the event for turn 3, and it happens to pull out 2 more zombies that enter the board. So turn 4, Kane has searched the building. He's satisfied there's nothing else. He takes his herbs, exits the building during the ranger phase, and then with his next action, he actually engages a zombie that's right outside the exit and kills it. So, not bad. Now, the creature phase in this turn saw a few zombies moving to repositioning. There's very little left on the board, something like 2 of them on the board. And then Nevin, now that he's open, there's no enemies around him, goes for a clue on the right-hand side of the board, one of the corners, and he doesn't quite get there yet in turn 4. Now, the event for this turn pulls out 2 more zombies, making it 4 for the board. So that kind of stinks. Turn 5, and here things get exciting again. Kane destroys a zombie outright, so that's great. In the creature phase, sees more movements of zombies. Kerberos gets engaged by a couple of the new zombies that came in the board. He takes several points of damage and is left with 3 health. So Kerberos is pretty wounded on turn 5. Now, the highlight to turn 5, the most important thing that trumps everything else, Nevin finds the body of Aventine and his sword. Take a look at that moment. Okay, let's see, a clue. And I rolled a 2. The body of Aventine. You have discovered the body of the missing ranger. The figure discovering the body should make an immediate armory roll. Target number 6. If successful, it recognizes that Aventine's sword is magic and brings it with it. This sword gives a +1 fight. It can be used by this figure. The body of Aventine is such an important feature, we're going to just put that marker there to represent it, and there is his sword. So, Nevin has the sword of Aventine. All right, and it is a +1 fight. So, very good, Nevin. Turn 6, and this is going to be the ranger phase. Turn 6. All right, let's do this. Okay, so my ranger's gonna take a shot with his bow. It is +2. Let's just check. Yep, about 16. So 16 inches. So yeah, he's within range. Let's make the bow. They're in line of sight and out in the open. +2. And I'll choose that zombie right there. Orange dice, come on. Or rather, the gold dice, rather. And it's a 20! Woo! 18. Whoa. Okay. Well, so that is a crit and a hit. So 20 minus 18, of course, is 2. However, it is +5, and that's 7 damage. So, boy, my ranger does a headshot from far away. Kills a zombie. Awesome. He's going to spend his other action, and instead of movement, he's going to do cast a heal spell on Kerberos. So Kerberos gets 5 points of health, and that will bring him up to full. Next is the creature phase. Let's take care of this zombie. He's going to go for my ranger. So, all right, 4. And then 2, those are its 2 actions, and it's moving slowly towards my ranger. And now, the other zombie attacks my thief. Okay, the zombie rolls a 7. I roll an 18. All right. So 19 minus 7 is way more than enough to kill the zombie, and even with the dagger at -1 damage. Okay, so now going to move Kerberos. And that's 6. He's going to move. I think I'm going to keep him there. Not going to rush it. I'm going to keep him there in front of the ranger. And now, companion phase. Second figure to move will be Nevin. Actually, third figure because my thief took an action. Okay. And he's going to move right there. Whoop. And then he's going to take a shot at the zombie. Come on, Nevin. Come on, you've been doing good. And he rolls a 6. That's 8. And the zombie rolls an 11, so no, the arrow misses. All right. Well, that is that for the companion phase. And we now go to the event phase of this game. Only one creature on the board. Come on, we can do this. It's almost turn 7. Event 5, red 5. A giant rat. Place one giant rat as near to a hero as it can get while still being in contact with a building. If more than one hero would qualify, roll random. All right. And that is now turn 7, ranger phase. So things are going to speed up. We're almost finished with this game. Okay, my ranger's going to move. I'm going to move him right next to Kerberos, not his full move. And then he's going to take a shot at the zombie. I want them together now. And 3 for the zombie, 14 for the ranger. So +2, that is 16. 16 minus 3. And that is more than enough to take out the zombie, who's only 6 health. Okay, and there is only one enemy on the board. And now the creature phase, it's going to go enter the building. And that it has more than enough move to attack my little goblin thief. Oh no. So let's just fix him. Let's see. And it rolls a 19. I only roll a 15. Oh. All right, so that's 16 rather. So 19 minus 16. That's 3 points of damage. And shards only has 7. Leaves it with 4 health left. And so it has 4 health thanks to that rat. And I think I'm going to mark the figure also. All right. Well, that activates the giant rat. And next, I'm going to do the companion phase. And he moves 8. So he's going to move a good distance. And whoop. Go right here, right to the door of the house. So I'm going to leave him there. And game is almost finished. I'm going to finish it up. Next companion is Nevin. I think I want to move Nevin closer to Kane. And he's carrying treasure tokens. I think I'm going to give him 3 more. Okay, and that was turns 6 and 7, the full turns. Also, in turn 7, at the very end, we found a mutilated body. That was the event, but could not determine the nature of the bites that were all over the body. And now let's just see turn 8. The biggest thing that happened in turn 8 was Little Shards, the goblin, got a nice critical roll. Let's check that out. And I play all the way till turn 8, till the event of turn 8. And then the game ends. My thief, my rogue. Rat has +0, rogue has +1, but -1 damage because it's a dagger. And he rolls a 20, my rogue. All right, and the rat rolls an 11. So 20, that is a critical. And, of course, more than enough to kill the rat. Yay, all right. He's going to be gaining some good XP. And we pull a 7, and red 7. Collapse! One of the buildings determined randomly collapses. Any figure in or within 2 inches of the building suffers an immediate +4 attack. Oh, God. Or over 17. All right, so this building collapses. I'm just going to turn it over. It collapses. Nobody's in the area. And the game is going to end now. There are no enemies. That is it. Excellent game. Excellent game. And I have a lot of XP for a couple of the characters. And we have to see what happened to those that were knocked out. So, moment of truth after the game. The first character I check is Kyla. She was knocked out way back, turn 3. And, well, she didn't make it. She rolled a 1. So Kyla, my Templar, is dead. She died. She did not survive this first game. So I will have to replace my Templar. Sorry, Kyla. Max, he has a full recovery. He rolled high on the table, so he has a full recovery. He's fine. Meg is wounded, but she also rolled high. She rolled very much borderline between the bad things that happen and the full recovery. She does recover. She rolled like a 9 or something, and she is going to be okay for next turn. She did have to do a health roll. Because of the rat, she passed that, so she'll be okay for next turn. The only one that died was Kyla. Thank you very much, guys. This was Rangers of Shadow Deep. A little bit different way of doing a battle report, so the video is not so long. It was a long game, and I hope that you will join me for the next Rangers of Shadow Deep as we continue the adventures of Cain and his companions.